at the moment there are a couple of key areas of policy that will benefit people who are disabled in any way. And that is that what we're trying to do at the moment is get people back into work. And there is a huge labour shortage in some areas of Scotland today. So we need people to play to their strengths, and we need to get people back into jobs. But also, we're working very hard at the moment to try and push up salaries or wages at the bottom end of the wage scale. And the Chancellor, George Osborne, for example, has announced that he will adopt a living wage, which will start at a relatively low level in the spring of next year and will go up to £9 an hour in the 4 subsequent years after that. But the effect of that will be that those who are in employment will be paid more, and that will be an advantage to those that we can get back into work.
Problems that we face just now is the funding that's available for good public services. So issues like the NHS, where people are finding it difficult to get a GP appointment at their local doctor's surgery, that's a big problem, and we need to invest more in that area to recruit more GPs and nurses to make sure that we don't have long waits. But we also need to make sure that we can reverse some of the cuts to the college system, because colleges have faced big cuts in recent years, and we want to reverse that. So that's why we want good funding for public services and funding the right kind of areas to help people with learning difficulties get up and get on in the world.
I think one of the things we've been involved in recently is making sure that we don't see a decrease in additional support needs teachers in our schools, because we have to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to engage properly in education. I mean, that's absolutely essential. There's things though that we're working on just now as we prepare our manifesto. I think we could do more for people with learning disabilities, and I'd like to see us make sure that people are not socially isolated. So I think some sort of, a better commitment to befriending, so that people feel they're really involved, that they've got a chance to go out and be confident members of their community. So I'd like to see us have more of an opportunity to get together actually with people with learning disabilities. And I think the fact that you're here in Parliament today is fantastic, but we should see that happen more often. And I suppose seeing representatives in Parliament with learning disabilities, that's certainly not happening enough.
But in power, what we would seek to do is actually, when you look at all the opportunities that are there, whether it's somebody with a learning disability who wants to access college, and the college places have been cut, and I think that's a really detrimental backward step. We would want to reinstate those college places so people have opportunities to learn and learn new skills. I want to make sure that people's access to work is as good as it can be, and already the Conservative government are cutting the Access to Work programme. I have constituents with disabilities unable to sustain the employment they've secured because of a lack of support. We need to get much better at doing that. We argued for the devolution of the work programme because we think we can do it better. We can actually make it work more effectively for people with learning disabilities. So those are just some of the things. But central for me is making sure that your voice is heard. That's the approach we take in the cross-party group. I want to hear from people's real experiences and what they want us to change. So at every stage of the process, I want to make sure that your voice is heard in all of this.
A lot of people with learning disabilities need disability benefits even if they're in work to help them live independently, and those benefits are going to be devolved to Scotland. So we're going to minister those benefits in a much better way for people. For example, we're looking at maybe simplifying the way that you apply for the benefits, so you don't have to have big long forms and work assessments, which can be very stressful for people. We are going to put in place a system that's a lot more people focused.